There we go. Hello, everybody. This is Danny
and Wanda
from Deep South Homestead. We will give just a few minutes here for everybody to start popping in if there's going to be anybody. And this is Easter weekend. Most people may be out with their family.
Or traveling.
Yeah. We're not. Oh, there's Kubota Acres.
We are staying home.
The music well.
And Brenda Duncan and Lou, just Lou and Papa Truck. We were thinking about going out of town this weekend, but due to a few circumstances, we decided not to. And one of them was I spent an awful lot of money on glasses this week. And then the other is this one decided to take another sinus infection again.
I have never in my life had sinus problems. But the other day, let me tell you, this is what's crazy.
Manfred Alderman. Hey.
I was over at the cabin, and it was about 20-mile-an-hour winds. I knew the weather was coming in, so I waited till the last minute, and I drove over here, and it started raining on me just a little bit. And I got here, come in the house. From the cabin to the house, my sinuses got infected that fast. They started burning that fast. I don't know. It was when I got wet.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I see Broussard and Charlotte's Rub-a-Dub Homestead. We got a lot of people in Hollow Creek, Geeky Gardens, Firefly Moon Pop. She has got our quilt looking awesome.
Oh.
Firefly Moon Pie started a quilt at the gathering, and she had all the people that were there to come by and help her make quilt squares. And she's got it together, and she's actually stitching it now, and it is looking awesome. She put a preview up. I saw Sarah jumped in from Future Dreams to Reality and North Star.
And Spook sat at the back door, says watermelons up and they're running. Wow, we hadn't even got any watermelons in the ground yet.
No, I told Danny Dave we needed to do that. And we hadn't got our Cherokee tans. You didn't plan any.
Nope, I was going to, but I didn't. It's just too cool.
Yeah, we're going to wait till after this next few days of cool. Long Gad. They've already got an ad.
They've already put an ad in it? Wow.
That's weird. People have been saying for the last month or so that even in the middle of our live stream, they're ads sometimes. And so YouTube has changed a lot in like 3 months.
The North Star Prep Star said it hit 81 in Minnesota. I told you it was in the 80s in Minnesota.
It was in the, high 60s, low 70s maybe here?
No, the day was, maybe, might have made it to 70.
Around 70 maybe?
Maybe.
Danny was going, man, we're supposed to be hot. Minnesota's supposed to be cold. And now it's flipped.
It's just flipped. Country Homestead Preacher said they've got 65 tomato plants planted. We may have to redo ours. I'm not sure. We planted with the row covers, and
we're not liking it right now.
Those tomatoes look horrible. And I don't know if it could be the cold.
Yeah.
Because we have several mornings in the 40s.
Look over there. I think I have a picture of my tomatoes in the Greenstalk. Hold on, guys.
Let me see.
Let's see. Did I?
Nope.
I did not put it in there.
You didn't put them in there.
Okay, well, never mind.
Never mind, then.
Y'all just got a minute of blankness. I've got tomatoes in the Greenstalk about this big, and the plants are as tall as I am. They're just going everywhere. I mean, I can't believe those tomato plants in that, y'all. It is amazing. I thought I had problems with the pictures tonight, so we didn't do a whole lot with it. Do we use any sub-irrigation planters?
No. No. We have soaker hoses underneath. We have drip tape underneath our tomato plants, but we haven't used it because it's been so wet.
Yeah, it's very wet under there.
Broussard said 5 of his 12 tomatoes have survived. Ours is looking really bad.
Andy's Tennessee Life and Homestead.
Max Happy Homestead said they've planted 180 so far.
Goodness, how many did we plant? I know I planted 12 over at the cabin garden, and they're doing good because they're
the early girls. They're
by themselves over in the shade.
Yeah, they're made for cooler weather though.
Yeah, Danny planted around 50 or better?
I planted around 50.
And they were looking awesome, but the weather, we don't know.
It's just not good weather, y'all.
I mean, one day we were in the 90s, and the last couple of days doing good to hit 70. So
yeah,
it's just like
everybody's talking about the difference in the temperatures everywhere. I mean, how did they,
reap what you sow.
Mike the Creekman Jones says, I have a coat and I'm still chilled.
And I see Gemini hopped in and Georgia Garden Girl.
Yeah. Planted 350 tomatoes and pepper plants, also rows and rows of rattlesnake beans and more. We are gardening like our life depends on it. Deborah,
yes.
You probably better. If you knew what I knew, you would be doing it.
And Gemini saying our weather has just lost its mind. That just about sums it up.
Yeah.
Right there.
Homestead 36, Olin says they still have stuff in the greenhouse ready to be planted. Deborah Friedana says 44 there.
80s to 40s. Yeah, yep. Charlotte, that's it. Mr. John says hello and blessings on this Easter. Hello, Mr. John. I don't know how it is in Florida, but here, the temperatures are just fluctuating.
Yeah, it's bad here, guys. It's just really bad.
Future Dreams Reality said her. Well, you can drop it down. Her rattlesnake beans are taking off. We haven't even planted any yet. We planted the Blue Lake, and they're all up.
All the Blue Lakes are up, but
we have videos coming up over the next few days of plowing and planting, do all kinds of stuff. But I planted over at my little cabin garden some more contenders. We're just seeing if it's the seeds, if it's the temperatures, or what. So far, it's been 4 or 5 days they've not come up. But my peas, all my peas are up this tall, every one of them. So I don't know what to make of it. Hey, Amy Broussard.
Well, the chat's moving so fast, Grandma I'm having trouble to keep up with it.
Pappin. I can tell you about drought or flood. What are you complaining? I'm not sure what he's saying.
Yes, Denise, I am congested. Took a trip on the tractor and got in the rain. And as soon as I got out of the rain, my throat got sore. I mean, that fast.
Have you seen the Final Days YouTube channel? Not heard of that one, I don't think.
I've seen so many. I don't think I've seen that one, though.
Reap What You Sow wants to know how you're liking the Kubota.
I love the tractor. I love its simplicity.
Danny, you need faster eyes. Yeah, we're missing a lot. So
I'm sitting here trying to read them as fast as they're going by. But that's, and Andy, hey, Andy, I hope you're feeling better, my friend.
Yeah, and we've got people that are, a lot of them that are sick.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few that have had something happen in the last, maybe ongoing, some of them. And we're going to mention some of those later. I bet the pollen is mixing with the mold and hitting you right away.
It's possible. It's possible. Our Mama Tried said, "Wonder how our peppers are doing." Our peppers are doing really good.
That's shocking. The peppers usually are later for us, and the tomatoes are kicking it. And now it's just almost the opposite.
Yeah. But we put our peppers in a good location, though, because I think it's about location now with the vegetables. I mean, literally.
Prep Steading with disabilities said all her plants died last week because it froze. Today it was in the 80s.
And my Cherokee Tan pumpkins died. I need to get some more.
Oh man,
we got plenty.
Let me know. We'll get you some. That's how come starting plants early. Danny and I didn't start a lot. He started some, and you've got what in the greenhouse?
I got a lot of squash, a lot of different types of squash up in the greenhouse.
He started his seeds in the greenhouse, and they're up really tall. They need to be in the ground, but we've been waiting.
I ain't putting them in there right now.
I put mine in the ground, and we're going to see. It's been a few days, but I didn't expect them to be up till next week, so we're going to see. They're saying FAA weather cam photos on the Final Days channel.
Okay, so
we have to check that channel out.
Broussard said the elderberries are starting to bloom around there already.
Wow.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We don't have any blooming around here. We got blackberries. We've been picking huckleberries.
Yeah.
We did that today. We picked a few of them.
I've got about maybe a pint of huckleberries so far.
Yeah.
And I've only picked a couple of times. So, and that's off one bush basically. Some of ours, it froze and messed them up because we probably lost quite a few huckleberries, a lot of mulberries. So
We're
not going to have as many, but I'm going to pick what I can.
We're going to pick what we can. And we had visitors today.
We got a picture. Y'all hang on because we're doing something different.
Well, we reset our computer to do something different. We're going to have a
black spell.
Yeah, we're going to have a dark spell, and then we'll have a picture. Hopefully, if I'm able to pull this off.
Yeah, if he doesn't get too...
Okay, this is our visitors today. Let's do it this
top one.
I'll do the top one first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Cindy and Les and Uncle Randy.
Uncle Randy.
Come to visit today, and we had a ball with them this morning.
We had a blast.
They are in Arkansas, but now Uncle Randy's close. He lives close.
He lives about 16 miles from us.
Yeah. So we got to visit with them for a while today, so that was pretty good.
Really enjoyed the visit. It's good to meet like-minded people.
Go ahead and open the second one. Well, and this was when, look how blue the sky is. This is what we wanted to talk about a little bit. Y'all see the sky was so awesome blue today that I didn't enhance this picture at all. This is just strictly the way the
no chemtrails, nothing today. The sky is just this blue.
And that beautiful.
And that beautiful. We thought it was so unusual, we decided to stop and take a few pictures. Here's another one with me and Wanda. We stand there in the sky. We're not used to seeing that here.
We're used to white stuff floating all through the air.
Yeah. We're used to seeing chemtrails everywhere. So that's that was unusual for us to see the sky that blue here. Now when I was up north, I used to see it that blue all the time. They call it the bluebird effect. But down here,
Jim and I have been forever since they saw a sky. We hadn't seen that sky. It was so shocking because it rained just a little bit.
Yep.
And
that's the rain I was in.
Yeah, this morning. And this was right before Cindy and them got here, right?
Yep, right before Cindy and them got here.
Danny come in and he says it just rained, and I said, well, I was sitting on the porch. I didn't really see it rain, so it wasn't a heavy rain. And when I came in, he was telling me that he said, look at the sky.
I said, look at that sky.
And we just couldn't believe the sky.
It was highly unusual.
The storm blew all the mess away.
Well, it's kind of like...
Hey, True Joy.
It's kind of like what I explained in my porch time, when the storm clouds pass, everything is clean, it's clear, it's bright, and maybe God heard it. Maybe he...
Two Wild Onions said it was really blue skies in West Virginia today, too. So maybe it wasn't everybody.
Right.
Dry Gulch planted their Blue Lake green beans, and praise the Lord, they're up. Our Blue Lakes are up, and they're looking really good.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So, but now my contenders are still iffy. We're still waiting to see on that.
Time for living. I do believe I watched them chemtrail heavy before the rain come in, and then I was in the rain, and now my sinuses is messed up. And I honestly believe that it had something to do with it.
The Happy Max said it rained in Brookhaven yesterday.
Yeah.
What do y'all think of the chemtrails? What the chemtrails are? I don't have an opinion on that one. But
they're supposedly aluminum, barium, silver oxide now. They've got a lot of strontium. They got a lot of things that they're adding into them now.
Overlook Valley says, I hope the rain's gone for a few days because they're waterlogged. Yeah, a lot of people are waterlogged.
Charlotte's Rub-a-Dub Homestead said her Blue Lake beans are looking great.
Well, we're hoping we made a good choice in trying those this year. Danny used to grow them years ago, and he said they did really well. He just went to the contenders. And y'all, I can go back and pull pictures. When Danny and I first got married, the contenders, we would pick big old, we had 5 or 6 huge dish pans just rounded up every time we picked. It was just amazing. I'd never seen so many string beans sometimes. So, but last year and this year, we've just not had luck.
That's right.
Somebody just planted their yellow pear. Would like to know our opinion on it. We just pulled our yellow pear tomatoes, if that's what you're talking about.
We just pulled ours up in the greenhouse.
They were in the greenhouse. We have some plants to put out that are yellow pear, and they will produce until the freeze if you have them in a good place. And they produce a lot of little tomatoes. Last year, we even made yellow pear sauce instead of tomato sauce. It was yellow pear tomato sauce, and it does have a yellow tint to it.
Do we grow gooseberries? 2 Wild Onions Homestead. No, we don't grow gooseberries here.
All right, Broussard says a traditional garden with rows, standing water. Should I dig a drain or leave it?
If you've got standing water, I would try to drain it.
Tammy Hansen says, why chemtrails? What are they trying to accomplish? Who knows?
Well, actually, chemtrails go back to the military back in the 60s and 50s. When we moved nuclear equipment around, they would put chemtrails in the air in the military to hide military equipment. And since then, the government wants to be able to, or the military wants to be able to control the weather by 2025.
I was reading Grizz's comment. Y'all, I'm not reading it. Y'all just go back and read Grizz's comment. I had to laugh. He's always there to make me laugh.
Time to sow said my rattlesnake pole beans just washed away. I'll have to replant. We hadn't even planted yet. We're just waiting.
Yeah, the rattlesnake beans is something we usually plant somewhere toward the 1st of May, and so we just hadn't yet.
Yeah. Christy said she didn't believe in chemtrails to start with, but now she sees them laying patterns, and it is kind of
yeah. That's what we do. We have, what, 2 or 3 more mornings of 40-degree weather?
2 more mornings of 40-degree weather, yeah.
And
low 40s.
Hey, Ravens, Nature Family Farm. We have a lot of good channels in here right now, guys. If you guys want to check them out, on the right side, at least my right side, I'm saying right side, like when it says Broussard Homestead and where they say goji berries grow well in the south, they're asking a question, but over past south is 3 little dots, or should be, if you run your cursor over it, and you can go straight to their channel. When you hit those dots, it'll say go to channel, and you guys can find new channels that way. You can start clicking on. We have Mari's vegetable garden.
Yeah, there's lots of YouTube channels here that are just getting started, and if y'all want to support them and subscribe to them, you need to do that, because everybody, guys, if we're trying to get out the information, and the only way channels are going to grow is to do this. Now you've got huge channels that really don't care that much about making people grow, but then you've got a lot of huge channels that do.
And that's how we
and we're not a huge channel, but we want to see everybody get a shot at this, you know.
And that's how we got started, was channels that were bigger than us gave us shout outs. And so a lot of these names we're mentioning has channels, or has started putting, some of them are newer. They just started putting up content. Some of them been doing it for a few weeks, some of them a few months, and some of them a few years. So just check them all out.
Yeah, check everybody out. I mean, if you like their content, subscribe to them.
Overlook Valley says, check us out.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with that.
Does anybody grow tobacco? That's something I wanted to do.
We have tobacco seeds, but we've not grown any.
Yeah, I thought I wanted to grow just a short little patch, and I may do it kind of like my cotton. I may just do like 10 or 12 plants, just because I want to grow a little bit of tobacco, and I want to grow a little more cotton this year, and I just hadn't got either one. Cotton shouldn't be planted until May. I'm not sure on tobacco. Probably it needs to be about May, right?
Yeah.
It has to be a little warmer.
The question was asked about dwarf fruit trees in containers. I do believe it's a good thing. Lemons, oranges, anything like that, dwarf apples. If you live in an area where trees cannot take, especially citrus trees, can't take the cold outside, then putting them in, you got to realize they're going to grow to the size of the pot. So the larger the pot, the better the tree stands, the chance it stands of making it. So remember, large pots do better for dwarf trees.
Alabama Gardener says they've done tobacco and it's beautiful and fun. There's so many benefits to tobacco. A lot of people see cigarettes.
Yeah, but it's a good wormer.
It's a wormer for your animals.
It's a good barter tool.
Yeah, if somebody smokes, it's a good barter, but we wanted it for the animals, so I wanted to try it. And somebody else, as I saw, I thought I saw something, reap what you sow is somewhere, and I guess it's done flipped. Okay, never mind. I can't remember what they said. But
John Connor says, is it safe to plant wisteria? No.
Mr. John says that goji berries grow like weeds in Florida Panhandle. So that's a good. If you have the same temperature as they have, then goji berries would probably grow real well in your area. Does anybody have gooseberries for sale?
Not. I don't know of any.
If anybody,
somebody
does,
in the chat, if you have any,
Bruce Bowers.
Yeah.
Tobacco is a great homestead remedy. That's why we would like to grow some. We're limited in what we space, even though we have 10 acres. A lot of people think 10 acres is a lot of land, but when you have the hills and woods,
you got the hills and the woods,
swampy areas, and we have to take all that into consideration.
Yeah. Let's see here. I see.
Never grow wisteria. Hey, I did one year and it went everywhere.
Never grow wisteria.
It went everywhere. Not here. But
Mama Tried says, have we ever grown citrus trees? Yes, we have 2 citrus trees left right now. One we keep in the greenhouse, one stays outside, and they're doing fantastic.
We have oranges all over the orange tree. They're just everywhere.
I seen Steve. He was in here.
2 wild onions want to know what I'm going to do with the cotton. That was one of them.
Yeah.
I have grown cotton 2 years in a row. I grew the green cotton the first year. I grew brown cotton last year, which must have had some white cotton seeds mixed in because I did get white out of some of it. And I usually just take it and save it. I have sold some on my Etsy store for people that want to plant it. And I have some on the porch, and Danny and I, he was sitting there watching. He's been watching this little bird for the last week.
I have.
And it's going in.
It steals her cotton.
And it's getting my cotton, and it's pulling at it, and then it flies off. And I have it on video. Maybe I'll get to use that little piece of a clip of video. But it sits there the other day, and it pulled at it, and it spit it out, and it flew around and come back and pulled some more, and then took off. So I have a bird stealing my cotton.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say a while ago, Steve Scott said he wished it'd quit raining so he could plant. Are you pea plants dying, Danny? Me and I do not know.
That he doesn't know why. His pea plants must be dying. Maybe too much water.
Ours is not doing good, but let me put it that way.
A plan in mind says, what are the best medicinal herbs to grow? Garlic. Number one, garlic.
Number 1, garlic.
I'd say
we have 4 5 different varieties.
I have yarrow, aloe vera. What else? I've got some moringa, then thyme, rosemary. I love rosemary. Oregano. It's medicinal, and I'm naming some that are to cook with, but they have medicinal properties.
Hey, scratch
and
me.
So you need to look those up because, like, rosemary is very, very good for a lot of things, and if you can grow it, use it to cook with and for your health. So, what else? Aloe vera is one of my biggies.
Deep South Texas says, any sweet potato slips headed to Etsy this week? Not this week.
No.
We actually talked to the people in town who sell them, and they said that they're not even looking at getting any until, what was it, the middle of May?
Middle to end.
Middle to the end of May.
Yeah. And we're like, whoa.
I was like, whoa.
Putting in the ground now.
Yeah, well, we have some coming up, but not a lot.
Ours we put them in, I put some in containers, we put some in the greenhouse, and we haven't put any in the ground yet for slips.
None in the ground for slips yet.
Danny and I have been digging them up and looking, and they're just as pretty as when we put them in there, but they're not growing anything.
Okay, well, homegrown tobacco damage tomatoes, Albany says. If your tomatoes are not resistant to the tobacco mosaic virus, yes, they will. So you don't need it close to it. And if you handle it, you need to wash your hands before you handle your tomatoes.
Okay, Broussard, yeah, I'll help you out. Do you have horehound or valerian growing? No.
No.
I do not have either one.
Neither one.
Basil is another good one for a lot of things, but it helps when you have tomatoes and basil. Anything goes together, but it has medicinal properties. Elderberry, we have one elderberry bush down here I believe.
The cows is going to keep it cleaned off, I can tell you.
I'm pretty sure they are. Those cows are real good at
keeping everything cleaned off.
There's YouTube search will show you how to cook tobacco to make a liquid pesticide spray. Yes, it should do that. I can see it helping with the insects. because of the chemical properties.
Jan said her sweet potatoes aren't coming up yet either. She dug them up and nothing yet.
I know. I think it's the word. There's lake effect.
Two Wild Onions says, we want some. Laugh out loud. We will send it to you.
Oh, so they went and saw Pilgrim's Progress, the movie. Okay, I saw that advertised. I just watched, what? I Can Only Imagine.
I Can Only Imagine, yeah.
I don't usually watch movies very, very often, but one day last week I was just like, I just need a chill moment. And I pulled up I Can Only Imagine, and I love that movie. So I can imagine Pilgrim's Progress. I love the book, so I would probably like it.
Oh, man, everything keeps jumping. I have my Red Ripper peas in half shade and half sunlight, and they're doing great.
That's what mine are doing.
Yeah, Wanda's are doing the same thing. Oh. Hers came up in no time.
Homestead 36 Olin. Same here, only a couple of sweet potatoes popping up on a 25-foot row. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you use USNEA from the trees? I'm not sure what that is, or if it's misspelled. Hand rolled cigars. Well, I don't intend to do that, but if somebody wants to barter and they think they got to have tobacco, they might could.
Yeah.
Lake Effect says their church did a free screening for Pilgrim's Progress. Still looking for lost watermelon seeds. Planted a backup
with markers.
Yeah. John Gowdy just got, or Gordy just got his House Tools magazine in today. They have some really cool seeds. A lot of them, I don't know what, are they geared more toward the south or just?
No, not necessarily. No, not necessarily.
But they are heirloom. We're planting some of our House Tool seeds this time. Danny does have some tomatoes planted. Leap of Faith Homestead. I need all the gardening help I can get. We all are.
You, even though I'm a veteran gardener, I need all the help I can get.
How do you control pill bugs? That's New Leaf Gardens.
We don't. They're everywhere. Literally everywhere.
Amy Broussard wants to know how well moringa overwinters in the south. Well, we have a greenhouse.
Yeah.
And so I put my moringa in the greenhouse, and then I left one in the ground, I think, and it just froze. 1 year I left 4 in the ground, and I think 2 of them froze and 2 of them made it. So it's just iffy. It's easy to plant a moringa and get it up pretty good and have good luck with it in 1 year. But we do keep them 1 or 2 in the greenhouse.
Ghostmania says, we want to plant tea. Have y'all planted or have any? No.
We had a tea tree.
But it died. I mean,
it was doing wonderful.
Actually, it bloomed. It had a seed on it.
And we put it in the greenhouse for the winter. And I think it got cold one time and it died.
It died on us.
So I would love to have a tea tree, but that one didn't make it through the winter. All right. I see somebody says,
my sweet potatoes are not sprouted either. Do you think they were radiated?
Ours were our sweet potatoes, so they weren't radiated.
Ours wasn't, and they hadn't come up yet. How far should we space green bean rows? Well, we plant ours about every 24 inches apart.
Okay, Bruce is looking for black diamond watermelon seeds. Have you heard of those?
Yeah, I've heard of them. I don't have any, but I've heard of them.
Not heard of those.
Yeah, I have.
I done had a hot spell, so I'm trying to cool off. Rachel Rumbo. Oh, Jan's talking to Rachel. Okay.
So I was trying to. How did you find your tea tree or plant or seeds?
Rusty.
Actually, Rusty Anderson gave it to us.
Yeah. He won it, or either it was given it to him.
I don't remember if he won it or if it was given to him. I can't remember.
And he said he would probably let it die, so he brought it to us. And we kept it alive for a while.
We kept it alive for almost a half a year, but then it turned cold, and we just. Denise, the bay tree is doing fantastic. It's already grown. What, about a foot?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, it is doing fantastic. Danny was looking at it yesterday, and he says, "Oh my goodness!" He said, "Look at that tree." I put it in my herb garden in a bucket because we didn't know how big it would get before winter time.
I don't even know how big it'll get.
And we were afraid that next winter we'd need to bring it in, but the way it's growing, I think we're gonna have to put it in the ground somewhere. I'm not sure about it. Somebody, Papa Truck said he got a tea plant at Lowe's, so you might check
you might
Lowe's.
check. Yeah.
Gosmania said they ordered seeds on Etsy. The Max Firefly Moon Pie are in Brookhaven, Mississippi.
Denise, when you do your starters, do you just break all the leaves off but two, and then put the rooting hormone in them and put them in some dirt and just keep them damp? I mean, is that how you're propagating them? I wasn't 100% sure.
Homebound Homestead said they're very impressed with dinosaur kale. They said a tree. It makes a tree.
It gets big.
Dinosaur kale is that's something we
it's
planted.
The same thing as lacinato kale.
Yeah. We haven't planted any last year or this year yet.
No.
But that was one that I really liked, was the dinosaur kale.
Yeah, it does good.
Georgia Amy wants to know what are peel bugs.
They're just bugs. I mean, that's all.
What do they look like?
I mean, I don't even know how to explain them. They're just little tiny bugs. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I can't see somebody's. I'm getting lost with this chat now.
Steve said, when am I wanting to plant my rattlesnake beans? Probably this coming week.
What is the best place to get comfrey? We have some,
depends on which type you want.
Ours is
we got block 4,
and it doesn't make seeds that you can plant. You have to get a start from it. And Danny and I have been moving ours and splitting it up. We haven't really sold any. I don't know if we get it split again. We may sell some, but it would be limited if we do. But Mr. Charles from Old Alabama Gardener, if he still has it, he is really somebody that you could contact, Old Alabama Gardener, and ask him, does he have some? Because it makes a lot. It can be split many, many times.
Roly-polies, that's the name.
Roly-polies, yeah.
The pill bugs. I couldn't think of that name for nothing in the world. I kept thinking of armadillos because they roll up.
All right, Steve's saying his sugar cane isn't coming up. Have you dug it up to see if it still looks okay? Ours is up.
Ours is up. Yeah.
Georgia Garden Girl says she got some comfrey at the gathering. So somebody must have had some at the gathering. I don't know which one of them would have had it.
Yeah, I saw Denise. I saw where you answered that. And thank you. It is what I thought. Yeah.
Pill bugs ate the root of the echinacea. I didn't know they would do that, but we don't have them too bad. I guess I don't see them. When I was a kid, they were everywhere, but I've not seen them so much.
Jay wants to know if we know any herbs that treats echinacea.
Eczema.
Eczema.
Eczema is a hard one because I've had that.
You got some essential oils that treat.
Yeah, we have some oils that would help with that. Eczema is a hard one. If you are interested in oils, you can message me. But I would say aloe vera would help some. That would kind of possibly soothe it anyway.
Homestead Paradise says, what is comfrey used for? Comfrey leaves have every trace mineral. The roots go really, really deep in the ground. They have all the trace minerals that all plants need to survive. Annabeth wants to know when to plant her cotton. In
May.
Mid-May.
As cool as it is right now, I'd say mid-May to toward the end of May, because I planted mine early last year and had to replant. I planted mine in April and I had to wait till May. It won't come up.
There's Adrian.
Hello, Adrian.
Our comfrey is doing great. It's blooming and the bees love it. Yes.
Yeah, the comfrey is one of those things you just chop and drop. You put it around your plants and it just feeds the plants. It's excellent for feeding other plants. Tea tree for eczema. Yes, you can use tea tree oil, or melaleuca is what we have. Same thing.
Christy said she's got a bunch of roly-polies, and it's worrying her.
I don't know what you would do to get rid of them. Maybe some of your, like mint or something. I don't know, would mint deter?
I'm not sure about that.
We have lots of mint. I may end up starting to try and sell some of the mint because I have 2 different kinds and it is growing like crazy right now. So I don't know. Would anybody be interested in a few mint plants? I could possibly ship those.
Nadia wants to know, can you grow a moringa tree from a branch, or do you need to remove the leaves?
I don't know where my moringa expert is. I've not ever tried that. Jen's not on here tonight, so I don't know. But JM at the Nut House is the one to ask those questions. She is a moringa expert.
She's the moringa expert. We got somebody from Lumberton there. What does that say? Melu B?
Melu, Melu.
Melu B.
From Lumberton, so they're close.
They're close, yeah.
Diatomaceous earth will get rid of roly-polies. Okay.
Okay.
So you might try that.
Take that.
Take a plate with beer. Roly-polies come and drown.
The Max Happy Homestead said, our peppermint spearmint is taking over. It will.
That's what ours is doing.
It will do that along with oregano. Any of them will literally take over.
Gosmania said their mint died. Mine is growing. I have some in a pot that's growing really, really well. I've got some back here by the walkway, and it's 2 different kinds. And I'm really thinking about selling a little bit of each one. So,
Glenn, I don't know a lot about the coyotes, but Mark Jones does. He's usually in here, but he hasn't been here for a little while. Mark and Janie.
Yes.
Red Duchess Farm. How's it listed? Red Duchess?
Red Duchess. Yeah, Red Duchess Farm.
Red Duchess Farm. If you look him up on YouTube and contact him, he has a coyote and he can tell you all about them.
Yeah. Where can you get moringa? I don't think I have any more seeds. I mean, I may have a few, but I don't think I have any.
You gave away all of it to gathering.
We gave a lot out at the gathering, yeah. I'm not sure if anybody has some moringa seeds you might put on there. Hey, I'll contact you or something. I know Homesteading with Disabilities, I think that's how hers is listed. She's asking about Cherokee tan pumpkins. Yes, we do have some more. Send me a message. They may be on Etsy. I think I still have some, but if not, send me a message. Echo Farms.
Somebody said that the garlic chives will take over. Yes, they will. Ours has done that.
We usually sell some garlic chives, and we probably will.
We'll put more garlic chives back up on Etsy. Yeah.
Before long. And I'm wondering about yarrow. I'm thinking about selling. Is anybody interested in yarrow? Because I do have lots and lots and lots of yarrow, and I'm thinking about. It will look wilted because it'll have to travel for a couple of days, but I pulled up some and transplanted it into some containers just to see how it would do. And it was very, very wilted for 2 or 3 days. And I just left it. And now it's growing like crazy. So I'm thinking if anybody is interested in yarrow and things like that, I might.
Mint. We've got mint, anything like that. We would be willing to get rid of any of that. Yeah. We'll put it up on Etsy. Just watch our Etsy store.
Yeah. Yarrow is really good. It was used in Civil War times for wound care.
Wound care mainly.
You can make a tea out of it, but I wouldn't recommend drinking it very often. But it has medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
And it's good for having on your place. But it is mainly to me, it smells like medicine. When you smell of it, you smell antiseptic. You can pretty much tell what it would be used for.
Denise, any size pot you want, the bigger the better.
Mm-hmm.
We have plenty of yarrow. I'm telling you, that stuff.
I will try to get it.
We'll put it up on Etsy this week, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I'll try to go get some pictures and get it. It tastes nasty. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's not. I don't recommend people eating it or drinking it.
Yeah, Broussard said road trip for yarrow. Just come on, because I'm telling you, when I take a picture of it and you see where it is in my backyard, Danny mows it down. He goes through and mows it.
Look, I get so ticked off sometimes that I just run over the lawnmower. It'll come right back.
And it multiplies when he does.
Yeah.
You need to dig up. Do I need to dig up my sugar cane? And what do I look for? See if it's still intact.
Just check it. I mean, I wouldn't dig it all up. I would
just one. See.
I'd just dig up one of them and just kind of look around to see if it's trying to root or whatever.
Somebody said, Grandma Rose said she got moringa seed from Baker's Creek. Okay, so Baker's Creek may carry it. Do you dry it or store it? I guess she's asking about yarrow.
No, we don't.
No, because I have so much and it never goes anywhere. So if I ever need it, it's out there.
Yeah.
Gmaw's garden says it is a pollinator attractor. And it does flower and make
it does.
more.
Makes a beautiful white. Ours, we have the white flower ones.
Thank you, Outdoors with Eric. That's the one, Eric, I believe I sent me an email here a while back.
Yeah.
And the chocolate mint's going crazy. We got some chocolate mint from Grandma Rose, I think. I think Grandma Rose brought me some, but it didn't make it. That's the one mint I have trouble. I've had it twice here, and I've not managed to keep it going. My spearmint's like crazy.
It is.
My peppermint's going crazy. Yeah, it'll come back. Yarrow doesn't like water. No, it doesn't
like wet feet. Now, we'll say that. Foraging Freedom Podcast channel says yarrow also attracts ladybugs.
Yeah.
Oh, Tubular Guy 9 says, I threw a bunch of lettuce seeds in a pot and they all of them came up. What do I do? Well, you got to
eat lettuce for a while.
thin them out and then start eating lettuce. Yes, yarrow will take over too. So yeah, y'all have to.
You have to plant it where you don't mind it being.
Yeah.
What is your favorite?
What plants are your favorite for medicinal purposes? Well, garlic, aloe vera, elderberries. I mean.
Is there anything special about chocolate mint other than the flavor? Not that I know of.
No.
And the pineapple mint's nice. I have pineapple sage. And I love the pineapple sage. The smell of it is just awesome. Everybody that comes here, I usually try to give them some pineapple sage so they can test it. And I forgot to give Cindy some. She would have loved that today. We tried quite a few things, but I forgot the pineapple sage.
Let's see here. Time to Sow says they're going cinnamon basil.
2 onions, I agree. Thinning is criminal. Danny and I went around and around and around.
She gets on to me all the time because I'm thinning stuff out. And she goes, don't do that. You're destroying so many plants.
He will plant 2 times, 3 times the corn he needs to. And then you see him out there pulling them out and taking on. He'll take handfuls to the chickens.
Yep.
And I'm freaking out. I like my chickens, but not eating all my corn.
I keep telling her, if you don't thin it out, you ain't going to have nothing.
Yeah, and he grows some beautiful corn, so I can't argue with it. Country Homestead Preacher says they're having trouble getting garlic to grow. Any tips?
Garlics are heavy nitrogen feeders. They like a lot of water to start with and a lot of nitrogen.
Gmail would want some pineapple sage. I have not tried to see if I have roots. I think I bought the original plant, but mine overwinters and it has bloomed all winter and it's beautiful. That's the one herb that has done great in the herb garden this winter.
Gmail says, I love my Egyptian walking onions.
We do too.
Nadia says, what causes my lettuce to get bitter? My lettuces are very small and they are bitter. Usually age has a lot to do with it, but if they're kind of tiny, unless they've been tiny for a long time.
All right. Grandma Rose says she has lots of chocolate mint if we want more. Actually, she has 5 different kinds. Yeah, if I could, I may try to get some more because I've not managed to get it to grow.
SC Homestead of South Carolina, I'm guessing Homestead says plant garlic in October. That's what we do. Yeah.
When do you dig up the garlic?
I dig my garlic when the top dies and falls over, just like an onion.
Yeah, that's what Broussard's saying. They overwintered garlic and onions. Ours are not ready yet.
Ours ain't ready yet.
They're big and beautiful. I noticed the garlic is starting to put on
the heads?
Yeah, whatever it's called. I forgot what you call the tops. Scapes.
Scapes.
I knew there was a word. Yeah. I'm just looking.
Yeah.
They're saying, Deep South Bama says to check the pH if you're having trouble with garlic. That could be your problem.
It could be, yeah.
Sage and strawberries will put me in the hospital.
Oh, wow. Another thing on garlic, too. Garlic will not make bulbs if it doesn't go through stratification. So You have to make sure it gets the right amount of cold time or it will not make a bulb.
And Charlotte's wanting some Egyptian walking onions. Charlotte, we may have some later. I don't think we're going to sell any right now, are we?
Probably a little while.
Within the next month or so, just check back with me, message me or something, and we may have some then.
How much space do you give your climbing beans? I don't know if you're talking about between the plants or between the rows. Between the rows, we do 3 feet. Between the beans, we do about 6 inches.
Yeah. Jan says she planted garlic in November and it's almost waist high.
Ours is a little over knee high, about knee high.
Our elephant garlic is what's tall.
That stuff is huge.
Mr. Danny, are you doing blue lakes this year or still the rattlesnake?
We're going to do both.
The blue lakes are up. We haven't planted rattlesnakes yet.
Right.
That is Wellborn Homestead.
Our Egyptian walking onions are topping out right now too. That's one reason we're going to hold off about actually getting rid of any.
Yeah. Gossmania is wanting to plant garlic, but they need to wait. Or is it you don't plant it in the summer?
You don't plant it in the summertime. You plant it in the fall.
Yeah. And it does need to be in a cold spot for at least 2 or 3 weeks.
About 2 weeks. It needs to be in the refrigerator for about 2 weeks.
Jan says she loaded it with rabbit poop. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you, when you have rabbits just make everything grow. The poop just awesome. But
Earthquake Lake.
I don't have rabbits right now.
No.
We may get some in the fall again, but for now we've been holding off on the rabbits. Okay, Quake Lake just put up the moringa list. JM at the Nut House is moringa. For those of y'all that were asking a little bit about moringa, check that video out and then message her and maybe she can get back with you on some of the moringa questions.
Yeah, didn't we have another picture over here?
Probably, but I forgot. Y'all were going dark for a minute.
Going dark for a minute.
It's not YouTube, it's us.
There we go. This is our potato plants. They are doing fantastic. Them things are loving these cool days.
Yeah, they're getting really, really thick and pretty, and I'm gonna steal some in a day or two. Country Homestead Preacher asked, how many tomatoes canned do you advise to last a year for a family of 5? Well, it's according to how
much you use them.
You use tomatoes, because Danny and I found we don't use tomatoes hardly ever because I don't put tomatoes in hardly anything. But we do salsa, and yesterday I do a plain salsa with no seasoning in it, just peppers, onions, and tomatoes and garlic. Very simple, and the salt. And I made spaghetti last night, and it was awesome because I add my fresh oregano and stuff to it, and it makes a great spaghetti. Or if you want a chili, you add your cumin and your cayenne or chili sauce powders, whatever. You can use it any way. I would say, how many times a week do you use tomatoes? Just think of that. And
I would say 200 jars.
If you use a lot of tomatoes.
If you use a lot of tomatoes, you'll need 200 jars.
For Danny and I, we could probably get away with 25 or 30.
About 50. We'd need at least 50.
I don't use that many.
Yeah, but you want some in case there's a failure for the next week. Somebody asked, when are we going to plant our rattlesnake beans? Probably this coming week.
So Carl's Urban Homestead says if you want some, holler. He's going to have more. So when you want, holler for $5 each. I'm not sure if he's talking which one he's talking about.
Yeah,
There's so many things going through.
Yeah.
What about cilantro, parsley, and bell peppers?
You could do that in a salsa.
Yeah, I use bell peppers.
We just do a basic salsa because we use it for chili, we use it for spaghetti, we use it for just like if you go eat chips or whatever.
So I don't add seasonings, but I do bell peppers, onions, the tomatoes, and garlic. Usually that's it. Who has a good supplier for quail chicks? I am not sure.
Oh, I don't know if Living Traditions.
Do they do? They did quail.
They have quails, but I don't know if they sell the chicks or not.
I don't know if they do the chicks, but you might message them and ask.
I don't know if Kevin and Sarah do or not.
How do you store herbs? Usually the best way is dehydrate.
Dehydrate them is the best way.
And then when I dehydrate herbs, I take and put them in a vacuum seal and vacuum seal them so there's no air in it, and they last even longer.
Oh, baby rabbits is what Carla was talking about. Okay. $5 a piece.
Charlotte says she's planning on canning that many this year.
I'll tell y'all what, I'm not a fearmonger or anything, but by 2021, you better be ramped up. I'm gonna tell you, you better have stuff stored before 2021.
Yeah, and
7D just popped in.
Hey, 7D, I'm still eating on my last loaf of bread, so I may have to see if she ships out. Oh, somebody asked a question and I forgot what I was gonna say. Broussard makes a sweet barbecue sauce from homegrown tomatoes. Yeah. Quail Source, Roots and Refuge does quail. So yeah, check them out too. I didn't realize they had quail, but I knew Kevin and Sarah did at Living Traditions. Gma is having a heart cath on Monday and a stent placed. Okay.
Ms. Wanda, do you pressure can your salsa or do you water bath? We water bath the salsa.
You can water bath as long as you don't put vegetables in it. It's got to be like peppers, onions, tomatoes, and garlic can be water bath.
Yeah.
If you throw in some carrots or you throw in something like that, any kind of vegetable, then you have to pressure can according to the, say you put carrots in it for whatever reason. You have to pressure can according to the carrots, whatever length of time.
Anita says, do y'all raise chickens or any other kind of animals? Yes, we have chickens, we have turkeys, we have pigs, we have goats, we have cows.
And a dog.
And a dog. Yeah.
Anybody need a dog? Danny gets on to me because
no, she said wholesome roots, not roots and refuge.
Oh, wholesome roots. Okay, I got you. I thought she said roots and refuge. Quail is wholesome roots. That's gosh, her name just went. Ruth? No.
Yeah.
Is her name Ruth?
I think so. Yeah.
My mind just.
Gossmania says, Danny, do you have an animal you use for milk? We have a Jersey Dexter cross that we're hoping to be able to use for milk this coming December and January.
How long do you need to pressure can chili? Any meat has to go an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Any meat.
Anita says, I'd like to see your animals.
Rose. Her name is Rose. Why did I say Ruth?
It was close.
Because it was Roots.
Yeah, it was Roots. You said Ruth. Anita wants to see our animals, she said. We have some videos up with our animals.
Yeah, we have some. We don't put the animals up a lot because you get a lot of
hate
criticism
stuff.
And hate. Yeah. And we do our animals our way. And so we don't like people coming on criticizing and trying to tell us what we need to do. So we show them off and on. I have over on Crazy Days, I have Hank videos. I've videoed the dog quite a bit and he has his own playlist. I've not done it in about a month. I've kind of been slack because he's not doing anything special right now. He's learning to sit. He can sit all of what, 30 to 45 seconds?
Maybe 40 seconds. Maybe.
So he's learning to chill a little, but he's not doing anything special. So I haven't done any new Hank videos. I've got, I take pictures lots of times of the pigs and the turkeys and the chickens and the cows. And I've been trying to catch the goats and the cows playing, but when I see them, I don't have my camera. And then by the time I go get the camera and come back, they've quit. So.
Okay, Maggie says, how long does it take for Marconi peppers to pop their heads up from seed? Anywhere from 10 to 16 days. It can take a while. If that soil temperature is not 70 degrees, they're not coming up.
Yeah. What are our favorite hobbies other than homesteading? Do you have a hobby?
Construction. Building things.
He likes to build.
I like to build things. DIY projects.
I like to just chill on the porch with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever and just do nothing. Now I'm going over to the cabin and doing that. I've got my swing. I hadn't got a picture of it up, but I've got my swing that I got that's red and yellow and I don't know. It's like 4 or 5 different colors.
Yeah.
It's a rope swing like a hammock, but it's a chair. And I've got it in the cabin, and I go over there and I sit and I watch Danny work.
Is the cow expecting? We're hoping so, because she has not come back in heat.
We hope.
Don't sweet peppers take a bit longer to germinate than hot peppers? Yes, they take about 6 more days. Ain't that enough? Any building is homesteading. Yeah.
Did you get a deer this year? Nope.
Nope, I didn't even get a chance to go, but maybe once.
We're hoping by this winter to have the cabin set up where we can be over there, and it's now our new shooting shack.
It's going to become a new shoot house, looks like.
It's kind of a fancy shoot house, but that's kind of one of the goals.
Lake Effect Farm says, thank you for your Patreon videos on what is really going on. You're more than welcome.
How do y'all like that I'm putting up the calendar? The calendar, the day every morning, so you can see what you're supposed to do. It took me a little while to get that week done, but if people like that, I'm going to keep on with the calendar next month. It's just if I can get it all the pictures snapped, and it's hard for me to get just that one day. I'm getting other stuff, but I'm trying.
South Carolina, or SC Homestead says, what's happening in 2021? Well, by 2021, the food source in this country is supposed to be becoming very scarce. And by 2025, they're saying that food's going to almost be non-existent. I mean, you'll be able to get it, but it's going to be very difficult and be very expensive.
Yeah. Okay, they're saying they like the calendar.
Okay. Good, because we were curious about that. We decided to do that because we couldn't get a calendar out to everybody that wanted one. So we figured for our patrons, we would just take the time and put a picture of that day of what's going on the calendar that day for the patrons, and it's worked out good. So I'm glad y'all are liking it.
Carl, it is called Patreon, Patreon. It's a different venue than YouTube, and it costs $3 over there for our videos. And we do a video at least one a week, and we're doing all the building on the cabin is over there. Danny talks over there at least once every couple of weeks or so. He tried to do every week, but he's been building. When he's building, he gets out of whack. And I have to just make him sit still for a minute.
Yeah, the music will put the link up for the Patreon.
Yeah. And I've started putting the calendar, our funeral home calendar, as I call it, every morning at, I think it's 5 o'clock. I can't remember. That comes up, and until the 1st of May, I've got it scheduled out so it'll come up. And I want to go back and explain all the little icons and different things that are on there. It's just going to take me a little while to sit there and do it.
Oh, there's so many things went by, guys.
Yes, I do have a video on bread making. There's several. If you'll type it in, Deep South Homestead, homemade bread or something.
If I'm not seeing your comments. I mean, they were going by so fast. Make it worth your time for this scared woman. Oh, she made a comment about something about doing a canning thing.
We're gonna do a canning video.
She said for just her.
Oh, okay. Well, Danny and I are gonna do one at night, and we're gonna put it up, and I'll probably do a video 2 or 3 days ahead of time so people have time to go over to what am I talking about? The money, PayPal, because we're going to charge for that nighttime with us canning. But we're waiting on our internet. They're supposed to come Monday and work on the internet, so we'll see.
Denise says, I missed the 19th for planting carrots. What's the next day, Mr. Danny? I think it was the 19th through several days, wasn't it?
I don't know. I'll have to get the calendar and look.
Is there a centerfold of Danny's new tractor?
Probably not.
Olin says, does it show the best fishing days? Yes, it did.
Yes. That's something that I want to get into because it talks about fishing, planting, animals, the different times when to breed, when to wean children.
Yeah.
All that stuff is kind of in there, but it's in a weird way, because when you see like Pisces and it maybe say the feet, there's reasoning behind all that. And I want to kind of get into that and do some explaining, but it'll just take me a little while to sit down.
Deep South Banner and Mr. Tom says, Danny, have you ever thought about a pond in the low area with a creek running through it? Yes, it's just I need $6,000 to do it.
We built a cabin instead of putting it in the pond.
Yeah. What do you prepare for Easter? We don't prepare anything for Easter. Wanda may celebrate Easter, but I just don't.
Well, usually my Easter would be with my kids. They got an Easter basket, of course, and we went to either my parents or my grandparents or somewhere for Easter. And it was always church that morning, and everybody got a new dress or a new pair of pants and shirt, whatever. But as my kids grew older and kind of outgrew that, we kind of got away from that. But we always went somewhere, either grandmother's or my parents, to eat. And since I've been on my own, the kids have all grown and got kids.
Yeah.
It's sporadic. It's according to where I want to spend it. But Danny and I are spending it here tomorrow.
Yeah.
We don't do a whole lot of.
I don't do holidays.
Holidays really most of the time anyway. Yeah, weaning children. There is a time.
There's a time for that.
For weaning children and things like that. That's how come those signs are there, and I'll try to explain some of that. Yeah, most people have an egg hunt. When I was real little, we always went to my grandmother's, and my uncle lived next door, and they had this huge hollow that went way down in a hill. And the men would go back there, hide all the eggs, and the kids got to. And we have hid as much as 300 and 400 eggs back there, and had about 40 kids running around hunting them.
Old Sal says Patreon's billing them $5 for Patreon. Is that right? No, ours is $3.
Yeah, ours is.
We have $3 tiers, not $5.
We only have $3 now. If you type in $5, it'll charge you $5 because it'll ask, but it shouldn't be charging anybody but $3.
Yeah.
Unless, now this would be the kicker. If you got in the middle of the month, and I don't know why it would do that, would break it up. I don't see, it's supposed to only charge you $3. I'm not sure on that, and I don't know how to check it.
Sherry says weaning is in signs in the knees, going down and before it comes back up. Yes.
Yes. And see, there's a reasoning behind things like that.
Yeah, anything in the knees or hard or anything like that, you don't want to be planting in those signs.
I like Broussard's thought. He likes to take advantage of the holiday pay at work.
Yeah, that's the way I always was. I work right through the holidays usually.
Yeah. The Green Thumb Gardening Channel. Hey, how are you? There's another channel, guys. I went over and checked him out the last couple of weeks. So there's another channel y'all can go see what he's got going on. I think he was planting, he had a flower garden going on, and he did his like we do our carrots. He put something over it, and when he took it off, they were all popping up. Kind of helped it along a little.
Christy said, my granddad was always running over a rotten egg with a lawnmower that they did not find. Yep,
that's the fun part.
That's true.
A plan in mine says they got in 2 days ago, and it said it wouldn't charge until May 1st. So I'm not sure. The way it's set up, it's supposed to charge immediately the way it's set up. I thought it would charge like any time you come in, it's supposed to charge that and then start again on the 1st of the next month. I'm not sure about that because every time I look at it, I read it differently, so I don't know. Yeah. Outdoors with Eric says he loves the Big Orange videos. They have the 2501 as well. Well, there's going to be a couple of 3 more of them in the next few days because we do have the green beans. Wait, no, you didn't do the green beans. You did the
Mary's Vegetable Garden says, how do I get to the Patreon channel to watch y'all? It's
Music Well has it right there.
Just
click on that one.
Click on the link that Music Well has below it.
All right, Sherry saying she's liking her essential oils so far, looking for another order to come in probably Monday. Sherry, I just got an order. I've been buying oils for less than a year, and I get points. And so I had $200 worth of points saved up, and I just bought a huge supply to stack up for storage. So I was really thrilled with my freebies.
Mm.
I hadn't done a video on that yet, but I just got them in this week.
Deep South Bama, Mr. Tom, anytime I weed, I'm on all fours. I can promise you that. That's the only way I can weed. I'm always, you can look at my overalls and tell the knees of them are about wore out.
Okay, somebody wants to know what time of the day it is. It's 9 o'clock here at night.
Yeah.
And somebody's wanting to know, how is Amanda? She had another setback this week.
She had to go back to the ER.
She went in the ER a couple of nights ago, but
everything come out all right. She's back home. She's actually doing okay right now.
We talked to her last night. She seems to be doing a little better and hoping she's on the mend.
Yeah.
So,
G-Mall's Garden says she wants to learn more about essential oils. Well,
you can message me at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com, and we can set up a time to talk. That's kind of how I like to do it. And I did want to mention one thing on Facebook. They just popped up this thing in the Deep South Homestead Gathering Place where it's called mentoring. So I set it up and went ahead because I know a lot of people are wanting to learn how to can. They're wanting to know about oils, and they're wanting to know about different gardening things and all this. So I set it up where I became a mentor. You can become a mentor, or you can ask people to mentor you because you want to know about something. So it works both ways. And like if you wanted to learn how to bake bread, and Sherry from 7D is in there, and she said, I will mentor somebody on how to make bread. She can find you, or you can find her in that one little thing called mentoring. So y'all might want to check that out. That's a new thing that Facebook has up, and I'm hoping it'll work out a little bit with people learning how to do things. I've already accepted one lady that I plan on mentoring, and she lives close to me, actually, and I thought that was pretty cool. All right. Christy says she seems to be getting more allergic to pollen. I'm thinking that's
I'm beginning to wonder if I ain't.
But now ours should be washed out by now, as much rain as we've got. I'm not sure.
And there was a question asked. I have to answer this. There was a question asked to me this week by several different people, not just one person. Danny, what about the 3 days of darkness and the 3 nights of darkness? What is up with that? Well, as you can see, it did not happen.
We got some dark at night.
It got dark at night, but the moon came up.
Yeah.
And so it was all it was all a hoax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Denise says she's never had sinus problems until this year. Same thing with me. I have never had sinus problems until this year.
Yeah. Richard Barnes says, I meant to be a mentor. Know what I mean, Vern? That's from, I can't remember the name.
Ernest.
Ernest, yeah.
Ernest. You know what I mean, Vern?
All right.
We already passed our time.
Yeah, guys, if y'all have any prayer requests, put them up. We do want y'all to remember Amanda. We want you to remember Nikki Stanley. She's been in the hospital the last 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah.
And they thought she had a heart issue, but as it turns out, there may be something else going on with her cancer. So they're having to go back in on that and see what's going on. We have Mr. Les that was here today.
Yeah, Mr. Les that was here today.
Him.
Yeah, he has a terminal illness.
And I was trying to run through my mind on different people.
Starry.
JC from Boss in
the Swamp.
Jamie from An American Homestead. All these people have been putting up for prayer requests, and we have
Denise wants us to pray for her doctor report on Wednesday.
Yeah. It's just my mind. I have 2 daughters that are pregnant, one with twins and one with one. I'm going to remember them.
G-Mall says, pray for her, please.
And
please remember Spicy, White Bear's son. He's in the hospital.
Okay, so Spicy, you're talking about
Andy?
No, Spicy. Backwoods Raised.
Backwoods
right?
Raised, yeah.
She put White Bear's son. I'm thinking you're talking about Nina.
Yeah.
Okay, so that the names, I'm trying to put names together and remember who's who.
The people who's in the path of the storms.
Sherry for her daughter. Yes, the storms did not hit us, but it hit above us, and there was a tornado, and there was one death, I believe, in at least one in Mississippi, some in Texas, and I don't remember the other state. No, T.J. Miller. Okay, I remember the T.J. Miller. Okay, I got you.
And guys, we need to pray for our food in this country. Our farmers, our country, the weather, all these things, because that's, without agriculture, we cease to exist. So we got to remember that. So
Shay says she misses all God's children. I keep telling him that.
Yeah, we're going to get it back going here before long. Just been so busy. Okay, well, anyway, we'll go ahead and we're going to pray.
Lake Effect says for the people with Lyme's disease.
Yes. We had somebody here that had Lyme disease.
That's Lake Effect. She said Danny's having some relapsing.
Okay, yeah, Danny. That's what I was fixing to say.
Yeah, because I thought you were asking Danny. And I'm like, no, his name is Danny.
His name is Danny. He was here. Yeah.
Yeah. I was having to fix that.
Let's see.
Yeah, Charlotte said they had a tornado there, I believe. She lives close in that area. And Nadia's saying, doing all God's children, please.
Be raised in a healthy manner. Yes, pray for our food that it can be raised in a healthy manner. It's just, guys, I so much. Well, Patreon, I talk about all this stuff, so I ain't going to talk about it now. Right now, we need to go to the Lord in prayer and remember as many of these, because God knows them all. I may not call all the names, but God knows all the ones that's been mentioned here, and He knows everybody's hearts. So we're going to do it now. We're going to go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we're so thankful You've been so good to us tonight. We've had a great time together. We fellowship with one another. We try to help each other out with answering questions as best as we can. And if we don't know the answer, we'll just tell them we don't know the answer. Lord, we try to help the other channels to help them get growing and so that we can get a lot of homesteads up and get going. Because, Father, some very hard times are laying ahead for us just right around the corner. And we need to be able to get as many people on board as we can. And I'm praying that You'll let this happen. And Father, tonight there's so many people that's got cancer, Lord. It's just running rampant. And I pray for all the people that have it, Lord. We mentioned several of them tonight here, Nikki and Starry, and I mean, on down. And Denise is probably going back in for her checkups and everything. And Lord, we're just praying that everything goes well for all of them and that their bodies can be healed or stay healed. And we know that Scratch Made, their mom, she's doing, is cancer free according to what they said. And we're thankful for that. We've listened to that a while ago. And Father, we're just thankful for all the good things You do for us in our life. And Father, there's others here that's having other types of issues. Mr. Les that was here today has a terminal illness, Father. I just pray for him, and I'll pray for healing for his body most of all. But if it's not that way, then give him grace and give him peace about everything. And thank You for the wonderful visit we had today from them, and thank You for everybody that's been in the chat tonight, Lord. There's been so many mentioned here, the different things that they want us to pray for. Some unspoken, some heart capping. I seen. There's just been some back problems. I seen just a number of issues went through, Father, for praying for family, praying for our food system in this country, and Lord, just for our own health on our homesteads, Father, because without our own health, we're not going to be able to complete the task that's before us. So we ask that You heal our bodies and give us grace that we might live through the uncertain days ahead now. Forgive us all where we failed you, Father, and where we failed each other now. Go with us, help us to all rest comfortable tonight, and help the ones that are going to be rising tomorrow to go to the services, Lord, and to worship and give you the honor and the glory and the praise. And Father, I pray blessings upon them, and those that aren't able to get out, I also ask that you bless them also, Father. We ask these things in thy name. Amen. Okay.
Okay, so
Music Well says, is it possible to type in $5 as a custom pledge? Yes, you can type in any amount you want.
yeah, you could type in $50, $10, $5, but anything under $3, you do not. It doesn't open up for you. You have to at least type in $3.
Yeah. Anything under $3 is just classified as a gift, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Guys, we will let you know when we're doing the canning class. It may be later in the week, and it might be sometime the next week. Not 100% sure yet. We hope to do potatoes. We think that's what we're going to be doing. So if you're interested in the canning class, be looking for that soon. What else? Most of the next videos are going to be
gardening.
Most
all the next videos will be gardening on YouTube.
Yes, almost everything for the week is
Patreon. Patreon will have some different ones. There should be some coming up.
Cabin video.
There'll be some cabin videos, cabin building videos coming up. There will be one on, I think there may be one on vaccines coming up.
And then the calendar every day.
The calendar will be coming up every day about planting.
Yes.
And the signs and stuff like that. So.
And we're hoping, and Crazy Days is just going to be whatever. I've got a Betty's Box of Blessings that I've got to do, and I'm hoping to do something with my essential oils that I just got in. I've been trying to throw something with essential oils up. Yesterday, I think, was like the dryer balls. People just want to know how I use them. And so instead of me trying to tell you what they're good for and all this kind of stuff, I want to show you how I use them occasionally.
Yeah.
Time to sow said it's been difficult finding planting videos this year. We have supplies of them.
Well, we have a lot of them, but guys, I will make an apology for one thing. I haven't been saying the dates on these videos. I'm going to try to get better about telling the time, because some of our videos are a week behind.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to start saying the dates on them.
Yeah.
So that there's no confusion about it.
Yeah, because a lot of people think that just because, like, tomorrow morning, if I put a video up of Danny plowing potatoes, they think he got up yesterday or tomorrow morning, plowed potatoes, and I put the video up. And that's not how it works. He plowed the potatoes 3 days ago, and the video is coming up Monday. So he needs to tell you I plowed potatoes on April the 17th, and when it comes up, it may be the 21st. So that's kind of how it works. We can't put the video up the same day that we do it. It takes a little editing.
Yeah, by the time we edit, upload, and all that stuff, it takes time.
Yeah.
So we have them all scheduled out.
So we're hoping you guys can get some good out of it and enjoy.
Yeah, we will. Yes, Oldie P. The grand solar minimum is on the doorsteps.
So you guys get to planting, get to stacking up, and I'll tell you, store up. Even if you have to go.
You got to go buy it in the store to store it up. Please do it.
Buy something.
Yes.
Every week. Thank you, guys.
We'll see y'all later.